we are going to cover throughout the training. Okay, and to hear out your doubts and queries regarding the course. So first, before we begin, okay, I would like to know a little bit about you guys. So we'll just start one by one, and we'll understand like what is your experience in Azure Cloud, uh, okay, or in your career or in your education, and then we will start. Okay, so that it will help me to understand and explain the topics to you guys in that way. So if we can start with the Shri, then Shri, what is your experience in Azure Cloud?
Actually, I'm new on for sure.
Okay.
Okay, I don't have any experience in Azure. Actually, I'm a software developer. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Just I want to know about it. I would like to learn something Azure or AWS. Actually, I'm a .NET developer, so Azure is good for my career growth. That's what I'm choosing
Okay.
here.
Okay, okay. So you are a .NET developer. That's a strong point to know. And
Yes, yes,
you wanted to start your learning, expand your learning in Azure also, right? Okay,
yes, yes.
absolutely.
Actually, sorry, sir. Sorry
Go
for
ahead.
interruption. Mostly, I'm
No, go ahead.
focusing the Docker and Kubernetes. Okay, that is my main area. If
But
you cover, I will
Docker,
enjoy it. Yes.
okay, see, Docker and Kubernetes is something. Okay, we'll discuss that part. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'll explain you what is the path to learn AKS at least. Docker is like
Okay.
it's okay, but AKS has a requirement to learn something. Okay, okay, so we'll
Yes.
come to
Yes.
that point. That's a good question. Okay, so then we'll
Okay.
come to the Shiva. So Shiva, if you can tell us about yourself, like. What is your experience or requirement in the Azure?
Yeah, yeah, I have this. Uh, Hi, this is Shivakumar. I have been working VMware and Horizon View administrator. Present. I need to career my growth on Azure virtual desktop. That's why I joined call here.
Okay, so you are already
I have
working as
knowledge
a
on little bit in Azure.
what you would like to understand in a better way and a streamlined way, right?
I have only fundamentals I am understanding.
No, that's what I'm saying. So you have already the basic knowledge of the Azure cloud. Now you would like to learn in a more streamlined way so that you can do the Azure administration work. Am I
Yeah,
right?
yes, 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 correct.
Okay. So the motive is to do the Azure administration part, and you are already working. So yeah, I'm sure you must be familiar with the virtual machines and the basic networking concepts.
Okay.
No, I'm just asking, like, are you familiar with the virtual machines and the backups or the basic networking?
Yes, I have knowledge on virtual machines and
Uh,
networking part and
uh,
backup and storage.
so
Everything is.
okay, it's going to be wonderful. Okay. And then we have Raj Shekhar. So, Raj Shekhar, if you can tell us about your expectations and your understanding in the Azure.
Yeah. Hi, myself Rashmi. I'm completely new from Azure. Basically, I'm working in Linux administrator. Almost 8 years of experience on that. Thank you.
Okay, so you are working as a Linux administrator. Am I right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And you would like to expand your knowledge in Azure Cloud so that you can do the Azure administration, right?
Right, right.
Okay.
If you don't mind, can you please suggest me if I'm in Linux administrator, which cloud is? more future for us, like Azure or AWS, if you don't mind.
See, yeah, okay, that's a good question. We'll discuss that part also. Okay. So, okay, let's do begin with your query itself, Flatmaker. See,
Yeah.
when we talking about the cloud, okay, in cloud, a cloud administrator is expected to do the job of Linux administrator as well as a Windows administrator. So there is no specific cloud which says like, okay, if you know the Linux, it is good for you, or if you know the Windows, it is good for you. We need to look at like this. If in a company where you are working, okay, if that company is using the technologies and the services which is more towards Microsoft, then it is better to learn Azure, because the company is going to adopt the most, there is a big chance like company is going to adopt the Azure enterprise services and Azure cloud services. So once you learn the Azure cloud, okay, you must because Linux administration and Windows administration is a part inside the Azure cloud administration. Okay, the same answer goes for the AWS cloud as well. So let's say if somebody say I would like to learn the AWS, well, Linux is going to help me. Of course, no matter which cloud you are going to learn, okay, you are going to you have to do the job, and especially if you are talking about the administration, then there is no Linux administrator or Windows administrator in, or even key or I would also like to put a word like network administrator. In cloud we have cloud administrator. As a cloud administrator, you are supposed to manage your Linux virtual machines. You are supposed to manage your Windows virtual machine. You are supposed to manage the cloud networking. You are supposed to manage the cloud storage. You are supposed to manage the cloud backup. You are also supposed to manage sometimes the cloud databases. So that is how the cloud is designed. The cloud is complete, the entire infrastructure. So once you learn the cloud, it does not matter whether you learn Azure or whether you learn AWS. Both has a different set of learnings, but in both the cloud, you are expected to manage Windows, Linux, storage, networking, backup, restore, okay, site recovery, migration also. So these are the real-time work which you are expected as a cloud administrator. So I hope I answered your query, Rajshekar. I mean, now the picture is clear to you.
Sir, he is in mute. Rajshekar?
Yeah, maybe it seems okay. So Rajshekar, if you have any more queries, then I would request you to if you have a mic problem, then you can put in a chat as well. Okay. So, I mean, if your mic or headset has some issues, you can put it into the chat as well. Okay, now coming back to the question which Shri has asked. Okay, so
Yes.
Shri, as you mentioned, you are a .NET developer. Okay, so
Yes.
see, in this course, and your objective is to learn Docker and the Kubernetes. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
so before I will explain you the path, I would also like to know, like, are you supposed to do some development in Docker or development in AKS, or you are expecting to learn to deploy your application in Docker and AKS? AKS is basically stands for Azure Kubernetes Services.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, actually, both are I'm expecting development with both area I'm expecting.
Okay. See,
Both area
development
knowledge
is
fine.
something which we are not learning here. Okay, so to be very honest answer,
Oh,
development
okay.
part is something we are not covering here because this is the administration course. Okay. Now
Okay.
coming to the because development has a different training. So coming to your query to answer
Okay. Okay. Got it.
on the
Okay.
whiteboard, and I will explain to you like what we are going to learn here and how we are going to learn. Okay, so see, there is a if you are very new to the and I'm only talking in terms of Azure cloud itself. Okay, so if you are a new person or maybe you have some basic knowledge of the Azure, okay, then the path, even if you are a developer, okay, it does not matter if you are an administrator or a developer. That is a different part. But the path is basically starts for the AZ 900, which is fundamentals. Okay. Fundamentals, it does not matter, or I would say Azure Cloud Fundamentals. Okay. So it does not matter whether you are a beginner, whether you are a developer or or you are an administrator. This course, which is AZ 900, is completely theoretical course. Okay, there is no exercise, there is no lab inside this course, and that is why we call it as a basic course, the fundamental course. So this course is which is the AZ 900 is a exam paper code. The syllabus is set by the Microsoft itself. Okay, so AZ 900 is the Azure Cloud Fundamental, and it is for the people who have no idea at all like what is cloud. Simple. Okay, so that is something to get to know about the Azure. Then the second topic is the next level is Azure Administrator Associate. Okay, this is the next level, and this is what we are going to learn. So basically, this is the second level. So when we are going to learn this, we are also going to cover this. So AZ 104 basically covers AZ 900, and then whatever the topic and syllabus is given in the AZ, sorry guys, AZ 104. Okay, so AZ 900 is just theoretical course, so we will also include this AZ1 inside AZ 104 as well. That's point number one. The second point, what we need to understand here in the this course, we have introduction to Docker and AKS. So we are going to very basic, on learning of the Docker and the AKS in this course. And why I'm saying this? Because there is a certain requirement, there is a certain networking knowledge, there is a certain, cloud administration knowledge you need to learn first before you jump into the Docker and the AKS. Because AKS in itself, which is Azure Kubernetes Service, okay, AKS is a Azure Kubernetes Service. So this Azure Kubernetes Service is itself is a very big topic. Okay, and there is a dedicated training also for the Docker and the Azure Kubernetes Service. But in this part, we are simply going to cover the introduction, which means the basic part of the Docker and the Kubernetes services. Okay, so that's the point. And after this, the next level which we have is AZ 305. Okay, so that is called Azure Solution Engineer. Okay, and here we will discuss the intermediate level of Docker and AKS. So that's how the path is. Okay, and of course we have other paths as well. So let's say after so this is 1 2 3. Like if you need to learn, then these are the three different certifications, or I would not say certifications, but yes, these are the exam paper codes we need to learn in order to understand and in order to complete knowledge of our Azure cloud administration as well as management. Now, from the developer point of view, if I come, then at least you need AZ-104, which is a part of the basic administration. And then once you learn that AZ-104, then there is a course called AZ-204, and it is called Azure Application Development. So again, there is no specific coding here. This course deals with the application development part, but there is no specific coding we were going to learn. You are not going to learn any kind of .NET coding or C# coding or ASP.NET or PHP coding here. What you are going to learn is basically the implementation of services where you can host or deploy your application. So what are the multiple options in the Azure we have? What are the different services we have where you can deploy the application? That is what we are going to learn in AZ-204. Most of the part is already covered in AZ-104 as well. So AZ-104 and 204 works in a parallel. The only thing in AZ-204, we don't focus on networking, or we don't focus on I would say this backup, or there are few topics which we don't focus in AZ-204. AZ-204 seems or considers to be little advanced option of AZ-104, but before AZ-104 you have no it will be difficult to understand AZ-204 as well. Okay, so in my opinion or in my experience, I can say if you have this AZ-104, okay, it is going to cover your AZ-900, and it is going to cover half of the topic in AZ-204, and 1/4 I would say, or maybe 40% of the topic in AZ-305 as well. Of course, there is no end of the learning, so we can decide, or we can keep learning to different areas as well. Let's say tomorrow you would like to do the expertise on networking itself, then we have a course designed for Azure networking directly. So this will again, this Azure networking course is going to do, like you will learn somewhere around 30% in AZ-104 and the advanced networking concepts in AZ-700. Then we have AZ-500 as well. Here we discuss Azure securities. So again, this is a Azure security and identity and access management. So let's say again a few things we are going to learn in AZ-104, but let's say if I would like to do some more complex security stuffs and identity and access management stuff, then I need to learn AZ-500. It also deals with the migration part as well. Then we have AZ-400. So this basically deals with the Azure. This what is that? DevOps. Okay. So let's say if you would like to discuss only DevOps part, I don't want. I mean, you already have the basic knowledge of the AZ-104. Then you are going to learn Azure DevOps. Then you need to learn AZ-400. Okay, these papers are the codes are important because the syllabus and the content is basically given and set by the Microsoft itself. Okay, so we need to that is why we follow the Microsoft guidelines here especially. Okay, whatever the guideline or the topic is set by the Microsoft, we'll follow that. So in total, if you look at this, and let's say if you are a simple, basic knowledge of the Azure administration, or even if you are a development knowledge, okay, then okay, there is no specific certification for the Docker and Kubernetes as of now. Microsoft is not giving the detailed certification of the AKS or the Docker. We have to learn it in a different way. Okay, so currently, no matter whether you would like to learn Docker in detail, whether you would like to learn AKS in detail, whether you would like to go for a 204, 305, 700, 500, 400, the pillar and the base of all these, learnings and all these different trainings or courses basically is 104. So 104 is the pillar. If you have a in-depth understanding of this particular topic, AZ104, then you will have a very much clear picture to decide which one you would like to adopt. It's not necessary like you need to go one by one. These are not the hierarchy, okay? But yes, the AZ900 and AZ14 are the base one, and then you can choose whether you would like to go for 204, you would like to go for 700, 500, 400, 305. In all these things, you are going to need the understanding and the requirement and the learning from AZ104. And this is what we are learning in this particular course. So I am not, saying like once you learn this AZ104, you will be one of the champions of the cloud. No, that's not, that is not a fact. You are going to play a important role in Azure administration because there are a lot of learnings which comes from the practice and which comes from working in real time situation. But yes, the concept in the cloud, how the cloud basically works, what are the things you need to know in the cloud, it will give you that enough idea, like you will be able to completely understand that. Okay, so before we go into the in-depth of AZ104 content, let me introduce myself, and then we will discuss, about the content of the AZ104 in much more detail. Okay, so my name is Manish, and usually people call me Manny. Okay, and I have somewhere around more than 14 years of experience. I should also mention 15 years, but as of now, 14 years of total working of experience. I have worked in multiple MNCs like Fujitsu, Ericsson, Wipro in past. Okay, and currently my skills are basically inside the Azure Cloud Administration, Azure DevOps, Terraform, Windows Administration, Migration, and AKS as well. Okay, and I have conducted multiple trainings, offline, online, both, and these are the certifications which I have completed, which is AZ104, which is again, all these things I have already explained to you guys into my whiteboard. So, but additional to this, I have also done the Terraform certification as well. So these are the my credentials as a trainer. Okay. Other than that, before learning to the cloud, or before basically the cloud was not, 10 years ago, we don't have the cloud. I mean, we have the cloud, but it was not in a production scale like today we have. So I used to work in as a Windows and Linux administrator, and basically we used to have, a system administrator's job. So I worked as a Windows and Linux administrator also, and during that part I learned, and I worked on SCM, uh, Citrix, VMware, Hyper-V, Exchange servers. So these are the different technologies where I get to, got an opportunity to work on. So I worked with the physical servers, I worked with the virtual servers in VMware and Hyper-V, and I worked with the other technologies as well, the supporting technologies. Now all those things basically gets combined inside one technology which is called cloud technology, and that is what we are going to learn. Okay, so that's about my profile. Now let's switch to the course content and see what are the topics we are going to learn in AZ 104. So that is the course content. So as I told you, like we are going to cover the AZ 900. So AZ 900 is completely theoretical, and there is no lab inside the AZ 900 course. So which we are going to cover inside this. What is Azure Cloud, what is cloud and other cloud providers, and how to log in into the Azure portal. We will discuss that what is Azure portal also, and we'll also see how to get the login inside the Azure portal. Okay, then once we have the basic understanding of all these things, then we will discuss I would say this part. Okay, however, I would first go with the volume module 3 and then module 2 later, because networking is important to understand, and then we will come back to this our module 2. In the module 2, basically we will discuss about what is virtual machine, the Windows and the Linux both, and how we are hosting the websites. So Shri, if you are a .NET administrator, then you must be working in the ASP.NET as well. So we are just going to not the coding, but we are just going to see how we can host the website using IaaS on a Windows server. Okay, and I would also like to mention and Nginx. Nginx is a IaaS for Linux. Just in, if I would put in a very simple words, we have in Windows there is a hosting platform called Internet Information Service, and we also have Nginx in this website platform in Linux as well. So we are just going to learn how to host or the website, how to deploy the website, not to do the coding of the website. Okay. Again, if we move further, then we'll discuss about the networking part. This is the key part, or I would say this is the part. If you have the understanding of this part, then you have the basics, understand basic requirement of all these things, because networking is the key element, and this is where many people have challenges, because in past we never get to work with the networking so close. Because if you are not a network administrator, I mean if you are not working in a cloud, and if you are not a network administrator, then it is a new world to all of us. So we are going to talk, so that is why if you look into this, we have dedicated 3 modules to the networking. I would say the 4 modules to the networking and the load balancing. This is also the part of the networking concept itself. So first we'll start with the very beginning, the very basic of the networking. Then we'll discuss the different options of the VPN, like how we are going to discuss. Here I can say either Google Cloud or AWS. Okay, so we'll also discuss like how we can connect, establish the connectivity between the Azure and the AWS, or between the Azure or the Google Cloud. We'll take at least any one and we'll learn that part. If time allows, we'll do the both. There is no restriction on that part. Okay, then we'll talk about the security, where we are going to learn the firewall and what are the different rules we have in firewall, what is the network security group, how we can traffic the filter, how we can allow and deny the traffic. Then we are going to spend some time on the load balancing. What are the different load balancing options we have, and in our Azure cloud, like if multiple traffics are coming. So if I am going to host a website, then, or if I'm going to host a web app, okay, then how I'm going to load balance the multiple traffic from the multiple users or from the multiple clients. Then this is what we are going to learn in this section. Okay, then we are going to learn about the storage. And as you guys if you guys remember, then I told you in Azure we do not have a dedicated role. Like in our if I talk about the outside the Azure, then I might be working as a VMware administrator, or I might be working as a Hyper-V administrator. I might be working as a Windows administrator, Linux administrator. Somebody is a storage administrator. Somebody is a network administrator. But when it comes to the cloud, there is no dedicated role. If you are a cloud administrator, then you need to know this part basically covers your VMware or the virtual machine and administration. This part is your networking administration, and this part is your storage administration. This part deals about the backup administrator. So you are the one who need to know everything in a in the cloud world. So cloud world is absolutely little different. I'm not saying like it does not sync with the on-premises environment. Yes, it syncs with the on-premises environment, but in terms of job and in terms of knowledge, okay, we are supposed to learn all these things, storage as well as backup. Okay, so that is why if you learn this backup and if you learn the storage, and then if you are going to work in your VMware environment or in your Hyper-V environment or in your on-premises environment, you will are going to get a good or better clarity for of these services as well. Then we'll discuss about the Azure App Service. So again, this part basically includes the concept of the 204. As I told you, like there are half of the things of the 204 is basically we are going to cover in 104. So sorry, this what is Azure App Service? So this is a platform as a solution service. This is a new kind of services which we have today. Nowadays you must have seen, like, okay, I don't want to log in inside the virtual machine as a developer. I would like to simply deploy my code. So Azure App Service is one of the widely used PaaS service, which is called platform as a service. We'll discuss about that. Okay, and as I told you, like in this course we are going to have a understanding of the micro services, and in the microservices we have Docker and we have Azure Kubernetes services, and all these things are going to be on a very basic level, because these Docker and the AKS has its own complexities and had its own topics to learn. But if you do not have the if you do not have the knowledge of basically the networking part, okay, the virtual machine part, if you do not have the knowledge of the storage part, okay, so I would not say, if you know the backup it is fine, if you don't know the backup it is also fine, but the storage, networking and the compute, the virtual machine part, first you must have that understanding, then only you will be able to understand Docker and AKS, okay, in detail, whether you are doing a development or whether you are doing a deployment. Then that is what we are going to cover. Then we need to talk about the monitoring, because here again there is no separate team for the monitoring. You must have heard when we have on-premises environment like just the VMware or Hyper-V, then we have a dedicated monitoring team here as well. Here, as I told you, like you are the one who must have the understanding of the monitoring as well. Yes, of course, in an organization, roles can be segregated. That's not an issue. But as a cloud administrator, you are supposed to know the monitoring part as well. And here becomes the AD part and the governance part. So in this again, as I told you, like here AZ 500, AZ 400, AZ 700, all these things have also some topics which we are going to cover in AZ 104. So if you are guys new to the Azure, and that's basically completes our training. This training is going to take somewhere around 2 months. Okay, usually it gets completes in 45 days, to maximum 50 days. But we simply take the 10-15 days in as a extra days, because we might have some queries to discuss in detail. There might be some days during our training where you guys are not available. There might be some day when I am not available. Maybe I'm traveling. Maybe there is a power cut because now we all are working from our home. So and we are all are working in a different location. I mean, in a different location. So maybe there is a a heavy rain we have, or maybe there is a heavy uh, summer. So there are external factors as well. So that is why we just keep 10, 12, or 15 days in advance as an addition, so that if any topic or if any a point where we need some extra discussion or where we need some sort of repetition, then we can use that time. So it is going to take somewhere around 45 to 20 days to cover all these things. So this is a your so AZ104 course is your building blocks. If you would like to ask me, if you are new to the Azure cloud, then this is the point. I have also started my journey in cloud. So I started somewhere around 7 or 8 years before, but at that time we do not have used to have a different code name here. We have AZ101 and AZ102 and 103, two different courses, but then Microsoft clubbed in 104 itself. So AZ102 and AZ103, are two different courses. The same content are basically divided into two different certifications. But later on, Microsoft has simply clubbed the AZ104 and created AZ104. So this is the starting point, and the not just the beginner's point, I would say, the starting point with a way to learn the concept, so that you can then decide. I am again not promising, or it would be not true if I say like, okay, if you learn this, you will become the champion, you will become the expert, or you will become superstar. That's not going to happen. You are going to learn a good content in Azure cloud if you are a beginner or if you have basic knowledge. Once you get this knowledge, okay, then of course you have lot of other, then you will, it will open the way in your cloud journey. Like, okay, now I have the minimum requirement. Now I can go ahead and learn whatever the expertise you need. If you would like to learn networking expertise, then you can go ahead and learn the content of the AZ700. If you would like to become a security and identity access management expert, then you can go and learn the AZ500. If you would like to take your journey to the DevOps world, then you can take this course as well. So there are n number of options here. Okay, so this is how the course is going to work, and this is how the course is designed. So I hope I explained the content and the training, overview what we are going to learn throughout this journey. So now again, it's up to you guys. Your question, your doubts, I am more than happy to answer it. So Rajshekhar, Shri, Shiva, uh, please bring your questions or ask your queries or questions if you guys have any.
Okay,
Uh,
and as you have provided any recording sessions to us or any documents for this Azure 104 course?
Uh, okay, good question. First thing, every session we are going to learn throughout this journey, okay, is going to be recorded, and you will get the recording. So let's say
Okay.
we are into the training, and let's say we have there is some day where you are not able to join, for example. Okay, you
Yeah.
got some office work or you got some personal work, whatever it is. So every session we record. Whatever we are going to learn, including every session, we are going to record it. That's the point number one. Okay, second point, I do the training. So if I'll just show you like how I take the training, or how I train. So I basically do the training based on diagrams. I mean, there is another batch going on where we have completed around 70% of the course. So where I have taught all these topics. Okay. So my approach is to, create a diagram. So for example, if I take this example, okay, and Is it visible, guys? The diagrams?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay. So my approach is like we'll start the topic. So for example, this is about the Azure App Service. This is how the Azure Firewall. Okay, this is the connectivity where we learn Azure and AWS. This is where we learn the DNS. How one thing is, how these things are, working. This is where we get an understanding of the basic of monolithic and microservices, where we have talking about the Docker and the AKS. Okay, so these are the different. So I basically, this is the virtual network part. Okay, this is again the virtual network part. This is application security group, like the security part. This is the application gateway, or we are talking about here. So there are n number of topics. All these are the topics. So how I keep my training sessions like, because what I do, I simply start with some sort of I'll draw all these things and explain to you first. Let's say if we are going to discuss about, for example, let's say every day we are going to have a new topic. So for example, let's say if I'm going to explain you about the virtual network peering, then I'm going to draw a diagram which would make you visualize like how the virtual network peering works in the backend. What are the things we are going to do in the lab? Then we will switch to the Azure portal where I do the lab, and I will show you guys how we set the virtual network peering. And as far as the document, so you are going to get from me all these diagrams which we will discuss and learn. And trust me, once I will explain you the diagrams, you will not have any much questions on that. But yes, we have some PPT related to, for example, we have PPT related to the load balancer, okay, related to the application gateway. So the where the topic and the theory is more, okay, we will also discuss the PPT as well. Okay, but yes, the PPT is not for each and every topic, because each and every topic does not require that much of. If from the document level, if I would like to, even I also learned from the same place. Microsoft has a very good options which is called learn. Sorry, I'll simply go to the google.com, and here I will say Azure Documents, Azure Documentation. Okay, then this is the website learn.microsoft.com. So this is I would also suggest you guys, once you know about what are these things. Okay, of course I would simply suggest you, no matter who from where you get the training, for your up to date information, because cloud is a rapidly changing environment. So maybe today we are discussing something else, maybe after 6 months we have different options in that particular service as well. Okay, so for an example, if I simply give you the option. So a few months, I mean not few months ago, a year before, okay, when we were creating the virtual machines in a Windows or in a Linux, we used to have a different options. Now after 1 year, the creation of virtual machine, the process, the entire process has changed differently. So cloud is also something where the things are changed on a very rapid speed. So we have to learn, and that is why it is not beneficial to have just one document. I always consider the Azure documentation. Whatever I need to learn, I'll come to this particular section. These are all the all kind of topics. If you would like to learn DevOps, if you would like to learn identity migration, any topic you would like to learn, you just simply come here. And let's say if you would like to talk about the virtual machines, I'm just giving an example. Okay, so you'll click on the virtual machines, then you will have all the content here. You can simply go and working on start learning on that, and it will also find some sort of self-paced learning, you can see. So create a Linux virtual machine in Azure. So if you open it, then Microsoft will give you a very nice training tool where you can learn and where you can. So for example, what is Linux on Azure? So if you click on this, then you have a very nice document to read about it. But yes, if you have completed the training, if you'll complete the training and then you will come to the Microsoft documentation, it will be far more easier for you to follow the document. Otherwise, let's say if you do not have the that much training or any training, and if you directly try to read the document, it will be difficult, little challenging and little difficult. You can see we have IaaS, we have PaaS, we have PBS, we have SaaS. So there are many terminologies which you don't know till now. Okay, so once we have the training, and then of course when we come to this particular document or any document, okay, it will be very easier for us to learn a lot of these things, and from our own pace itself. And every time I follow the Microsoft documentation, because these documents keep changing. Okay, so it's not something like these. Microsoft has done a wonderful job earlier before the cloud. I can honestly say you guys, I have been a very good experience in the Microsoft. Microsoft was very in poor in terms of documentation, but with the introduction of Azure, Microsoft has done a very tremendous job in terms of documentation. Anything, let's say if you don't know where to search, you can simply type here Azure Virtual Network. Okay. And most of the time you are going the first and the second link, which basically belongs to the learn.microsoft.com. You need to look into this. And then you can simply open it. You will get a very nice option, a very nice documentation of the a virtual network. So if you would like to learn in so much depth, in so much detail of each and every topic, then you have your entire Azure world, which is inside this learn.microsoft.com. So Rajshekhar, is it clear how
Yes,
we
sir.
are going to
Uh,
approach the training?
yeah, yeah, it was nice. Can you please share that link?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah,
It's
thank you.
simple. I mean, you do not, you simply go to the, like any, that's what I'm saying. Even if you don't know, just just memorize this learn.microsoft.com and you just go to Google. Okay, because it is not possible to, search for each and everything. So just go to Google. This is how I, always search. Let's say I am,
Yeah,
let's say I have the understanding of the virtual network. So I simply use the Google, go there, and it will bring you the better options, and read the article.
yeah. Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay. Then any more queries or
And
questions,
also,
please?
one more question for my side. Other
Yeah.
than this Microsoft document, so you are going to be provide any simple kind of document, or only we need to
See,
follow whatever?
for a
Uh,
specific, okay, let me tell you. See, I won't provide you the document because I also follow the same document which I told you. Okay,
okay,
I don't have
okay,
any specific document. What I have is, like as I told you, these are the different diagrams which we simply going to understand. So I will make from those documents or from those topics, I will draw this diagram. I will make you understand the diagram, how these things are working, how these things are connected. Once we understand that part, then of course, let's say if you need any specific, for example, here you can see we have covered multiple topics like VNet peering, virtual network gateway, route table, right? Subnets, virtual networks, hub and spoke. So this topic basically consists of multiple topics. So before coming to this topic, we are going to individually learn all these components first, and then we will come to this particular topic as well. So we will learn individual topic, and then we will also come to here as well. So for every topic, whatever the document you need, you can let me know. I can simply, tell you, or I can give you the direct link of that particular topic.
yeah, got it. Thank you.
Because training is more, I believe the approach here is to show you guys, to teach you guys in a practical manner, because of course from the documents are really important, but I would like you guys to enable or give you the enough content, like from there if you would like to go and learn anything in, in detail, not anything in detail in the cloud, Azure cloud, you will be able to understand, okay, this is what document is saying.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure. Thank you. And if you have any YouTube channel, share us so we will follow as
As of now, I don't have a YouTube channel because
well. Okay, yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
I
fine.
don't
Yeah,
have the time to, this is something which is in my plan since very long, honestly. But
yeah,
honestly, I have too many batches and I don't get, time to record the sessions. But yes, if we will stay in touch, and in future, if any time if I launch my course, I have also try to launch a entire course in YouTube as well, but again I don't get enough time because that particular work is require a dedicated time. So as of now I'm little too much occupied with a lot of trainings.
yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah, yeah. Thank
so
you.
sure. Thanks, Rajshekar, for your doubt, asking your doubts. Now, Shri and Shiva, anything from your end, guys?
Yeah, hi Manish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hi,
here
Shiva.
140 also is there in Azure Virtual Desktop course.
Okay, Azure 140 is okay. That's a good point. So Azure 140 is a Azure VDI, Virtual Desktop Environment, right?
Yeah, yes,
So
correct.
no, yeah, we have the training, but this requires again, this is a dedicated training. So here also Azure Virtual Desktop. Okay. So here also you need to have a basic knowledge first, and then you can come to learn to the Azure Virtual Desktop. So this is again a dedicated training. Not we are not going to discuss anything about the Azure Virtual Desktop because Microsoft is kept this particular topic in a very separated manner. So this is a very dedicated and a separate topic, but yes, it's an advanced course as well. So for this part also, you need to must have the AZ-104,
Okay.
and then it is you are going, because here you need to learn networking and you need to learn the virtual machines. How are you going to manage the multi-session of the virtual machines? How are you going to manage the persistent VDIs and the non-persistent VDIs? How you are going to manage this golden
All
image
desktop pools and
patching,
golden image.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, host pool. And so these are the different and dedicated training, I would say.
Okay.
We are not covering any topic. We are covering the networking part. We are covering the virtual machine part, which is the basic, which is the common part of all these paper, but no specific content for the Azure Virtual Desktop.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
requires
Manish.
a separate learning, honestly. So,
Thank you, Manish.
have you worked in past like Citrix administrator or something?
No, no, VMware and Harjan View administrator. I
Okay.
have 5+ years of experience in VMware and Harjan both. VDA
Okay.
desktop.
So mostly this Azure Virtual Desktop course is basically training which is basically learned by the people who have worked in the virtualization, like desktop virtualization. Citrix is one of the famous and widely used tool. So Azure Virtual Desktop is still struggling. Microsoft has launched it, but it still does not have gained much acceptance from the market. So still Citrix is the leader in the desktop virtualization. But yes,
Mhm.
Azure Virtual Desktop, this is also gaining the I would say some sort of share in the market. So let's see how maybe not today, but I would say maybe after 2 3 years, because there are a lot of things Microsoft need to improve inside this particular area. So
Yeah.
once Microsoft will complete do the areas, then because as of now, if you are an Azure Virtual Desktop Administrator, you cannot only rely on the Microsoft. You also need to learn a third-party tool, for example, Nerdio, or for example, there are other tools to manage the Azure Virtual Desktops, which are more matured third-party tools as compared to Azure Virtual Desktop.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, any more query?
No, Manish. Thank you.
Okay, so Shri, any query or question from your end, any doubt from your end? Shri, if you are speaking, you are on mute. So if, I'm not sure. Shri, can you hear me? Okay, I'm not sure if
Yeah,
okay.
you are asking me. Hello.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe
Shri,
Sri mute maybe.
Yeah, yeah. Nothing
We
from
can
my
hear
end.
you, Manish.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
are you Rashekar? What are you saying?
Yeah, yeah, nothing from my end. I am going to
Okay,
leaving this session outside. Yeah, thank you.
yeah,
Nice session
sure,
for.
sure. So,
Yeah,
Rajshekhar, if you know, don't have any questions or queries, then of course I'm expected to see you in the course, okay, so that we can learn
yeah.
some exciting
Okay. I
stuffs.
will update. Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Shri, can you hear me? Okay, I'm not sure if either he has mic problem or maybe his attention is somewhere else. Maybe he is busy in some other work. So, anyways, Shiva, do you have any more queries or questions?
No, Manish. No. Thank you, Manish.
Okay, then I think we are good to wrap up the session. This
Yeah.
is a demo session, and I'm looking forward you, Shri, and Rajshekhar to be the part of the next class, so that we can learn some good stuffs in Azure Cloud. Okay. So
Yeah.
thanks a lot for your time. And Shri, once again, I'm not sure if you are able to hear me or not, but if
Yeah.
you are able
Daily,
to
are you
hear,
taking 1 hour session, right? 1 hour or 2 hours?
yes, yes, we will continue Monday to Friday daily.
Yeah. What time will take in class in Manish?
Usually it is going to be like this in the morning itself, morning 9 a.m. Okay,
Okay.
uh, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, maybe we have to
Yeah.
start maybe 9:30 or 9:15, but it is
Okay.
going to be like this only.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Manish.
Or
I
we
will
can
update
also
your team.
discuss the timing part for all of you. So if there is some alternate time, then we can also look into that part.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Manish.
Thanks,
Have a good day.
Shiva. Thanks a lot. So Shri, I hope I'm not sure. Maybe it seems you
Yeah,
are
sorry. I just still I'm working. Okay, I went
okay.
to
Okay.
attend another meeting. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah, I got that.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. You're saying a lot of things. Really good, and naturally you are saying.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I appreciating your
Thanks.
sir. Actually, I'm a development side. I'm focusing only Azure, Kubernetes, and Docker only.
Hmm.
Shall I learn all those things, sir? Azure full things required for me.
See, I will simply give you my honest answer.
Okay.
Whatever you are going to learn, Azure Kubernetes
Yes.
services is going to complete, has all the
Yes.
concepts
Yes.
which is related to AZ-104. So
Yes,
I
I
would
got it.
simply say you whether you are going to learn Azure Kubernetes Service, Azure DevOps, because I am sure if you are going to learn Azure Kubernetes Service, then the next stage is Azure DevOps. Okay,
Okay, okay,
so this is how the like the market works. Like and mostly people who learn and work in the Azure Kubernetes services, they also work in Azure DevOps also. Okay,
okay,
because
sir.
DevOps understanding of the DevOps pipeline to deploy the solution in the Azure Kubernetes services. This is how the market works in the real time. Okay, so in
Okay, sir.
any case, I would simply say if you are new to the Azure, you should learn this AZ104. It will give you enough basics, enough material, enough content so that you can itself go ahead and let's say if you have the clarity on AZ104, where I'm going to tell you all
Yes, I
these,
understood,
where
sir.
we are going to learn all. Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
so you
It
will
would
be
be
able
useful
to
for
learn it.
yes, yes. Sir, my question
But
is,
let's say
sir, Azure DevOps means that Ansible, Terraform, blah blah. That is right, sir.
no, 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 no. Okay, let me
No.
also share you a very quick
In
understanding.
AWS, somebody saying DevOps means Ansible, Terraform, some
Yeah, yeah.
yes,
See, DevOps is a I mean, DevOps is a different thing. But see,
okay.
basically, DevOps is what? Let me tell you. You let's say you are a developer, right? So
Oh
you
yes,
write your
yes.
So you basically write your code, right? And once you write
Okay.
your code, then you contact your infrastructure guys. Like, okay, guys, I have written a code. I need a server to deploy that code, right? It's in a very basic
Yes,
terms I'm explaining to you. Like,
yes, sir.
so you are writing a code as a developer, so that job will remain the same. There is no change in that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
After
Okay,
writing the
sir.
code, you must be working with some repository like GitHub.
Oh,
Do you work with the GitHub or not?
yeah, GitHub, mostly all developers now using GitHub, TFS, Microsoft
Acha,
TFS,
TFS
team.
also. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean
yes,
some
yes,
sort of
sir.
repository, right? Where you basically
Yes, yes,
push
machine
your code
controlling.
after writing the
Ye-
modules or after writing your code on your local machine or on a machine given by your office. You once you done your code, then you push your code into a repository, whether it is a GitHub or a TFS, something like that,
Yes,
right? So the
yes, sir.
DevOps journey starts from there. So what you do
Oh,
as
yes,
of now, this if I simply say the in a very simple way, if I simply or maybe look, wait a minute, let me show you if I have that diagram, then I'll explain that DevOps part to you as
but some other trainer initially focusing DevOps, teaching train students DevOps, then only going to administrator like that.
See,
But in
I
your
am
way
not
is a
sure
very good,
about others.
nice way. Yes, yes,
I cannot say I can simply explain you the way I know and the way I learned. Okay, from my experiences. So
yes,
let me show you the DevOps because I also teach the DevOps. So
yes. I
let
understood,
me
sir.
show you if I can.
In Azure
I,
also we have all those things, right, sir? The version control and version control must be there, and some other Terraform, Ansible, blah blah things is there.
No,
No,
no.
some
Let
plugins are
me.
there.
Yeah, yeah. Let me explain this diagram to you. Okay, this is
Okay,
I
okay,
have
sir.
created recently. See, this is how the DevOps. Okay, so as I
Yes,
told you, you write your source code, right?
yes,
That job
yeah,
will remain the same. There is no change in that job. So
yes,
even if you are
yes,
going to become a DevOps administrator, writing the source code program in different programming languages, whatever the programming language you work, okay, will remain the same. Once you write your
okay,
code,
sir.
you push your code into some sort of repository, right? So that
Yes,
repository
sir.
is either called Git, GitHub, Azure Repo, Bitbucket, GitLab, TFS. It depends on your organization. So whatever the
Yes,
repository, they will provide to you. Once the code is inside the repository, the next job is to convert into the build form, because anyhow we are not going to share the source code to a lot of people. Okay, this is the source code of my program, you please run it. No, we are going to give the exe format or the msi format or the executable format of the code, right? Then only
yes, yes, sir.
that program is going to work. So conversion of your source code into your executable format is called the build process. Okay,
Okay.
and you might be aware of this, but this build process, as of now, you are doing it manually. Okay,
Yes, sir.
in the
Yes. Yes.
DevOps, you do it with the help of different tools. And once you, I mean, for the first time, you need to set it up. But once you set it up, then it will happen automatically every time you release a new piece of code here. Okay,
Yes, sir.
once you
Here,
the
Java people.
executable form,
Sorry, sir.
no, no, no,
Java
please go
people
ahead.
using Maven and Cradle. We guys using .NET framework. Okay, sir.
Yeah, that's
The
what I'm
build
saying.
tool. Build.
So you
Yes.
guys are so in there is a Visual Studio, and
Yes,
you
sir.
can simply build your solution directly from there, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Got it. Yes, sir.
So every programming language, and that's what I told you, like DevOps is a very broad thing. So every
Yes.
programming language has a different. So for example, Gradle is basically for the programs written in Android and Python. Okay, Maven is again
Java.
mostly deals with the Java. Yes. So
Yes, sir. Yes.
we have Jenkins as well. So here we need that once you get the executable form of your application, then you need a target environment where you are going to deploy your code, whether it is a virtual machine server or a Docker or AKS or AWS virtual machine or EKS or GKE, right? These are the different
Yes, sir.
target environments. Okay, so these are again, so we need a tool. So in DevOps, we are going to use multiple tools here. And now what is the challenge? This basically called open source. When DevOps started, it started as an open source. So now what happens? Let's say you are a employee of a company A. Company A is working on GitHub. Company A is working on Maven. To build the solution, Company A is working on a Maven. And to deploy the
Yes.
solution, Company A is working on a Jenkins, right? And to restore the
Yes.
code in a GitHub. So you are working in a
Yes.
company A, which is fine. Now let's say you would like to switch your job and you would like to go and work for a company B. But the company B people, they simply work on a Bitbucket. They use the Gradle and they use, for example, TeamCity or maybe Bamboo to release their tools, right? Then in a
Yes. Yes.
company C, somebody is using somebody, let's say GitHub, Gradle, and Jenkins. So n number of combination we can create here, right? So that is what
Yes.
we are calling it as an open source DevOps. So the challenge, with the initially everything was very, since everything was free and open source, so everyone was excited to do lot of developments. Now the companies are facing the challenges in a real time, like they have their own set of tools, and not
Yes.
it is not possible for an individual to learn all kind of tools, right? You cannot be
Yes,
expert
sir.
of everything. You cannot be expert of Maven, Gradle, Jenkins, everything here, right? So the
Yes, sir.
but company has started their DevOps journey, and when they started their DevOps journey, they opted for the tools which they thinks they are the best suited for their environment. But they are getting the challenges, like they are not getting the good resource or the good DevOps engineer who knows their set of tools. Plus, it is also a challenge for the DevOps administrator. As a DevOps administrator, if I spend my time with GitHub, Maven, and Jenkins, now I'm going to switch my job, and I came to know, like, okay, I have to work on an Azure Repo, Gradle, or TeamCity, which I don't know, right? It will be a
Yes.
problem
Yes.
for. So there is a new version, the cloud, especially the Amazon and Azure. Basically, they have come up with their own set of tools: Amazon DevOps and the Azure DevOps. In the Azure DevOps, Azure says, okay, you do not need to learn different multiple open source tools. I am going to give you my trust because this Microsoft anyhow going to work in an enterprise environment. Okay, you need
Yes.
only one tool for one job. So Azure Repo, Azure Build Pipeline, Azure Release Pipeline. If you learn these three tools, okay, then
Okay.
you do not need to learn all these different tools. And any organization which adopts the Azure DevOps, okay, in every
Okay.
organization where the company is working on a Azure DevOps, they are going to working on all these three and four, five tools only, right? If you know
I
all
see.
these three, four, five tools, and you can go into any company and say, boss, if I am an Azure DevOps administrator or I'm an Azure DevOps person, and I know repo, I know build pipeline, I know release pipeline, whatever the tools getting used inside the Azure DevOps, I'm good to work with your company. Companies are also
Yes.
getting very better feedback because everything is streamlined now. They can
Yes,
simply
sir.
put
Yes,
like
sir.
in the market, like anybody who knows the Azure DevOps, even if you don't know Maven, even if you don't know Jenkins, even you don't know Bitbucket, you don't need to learn a lot of tools. They have basically
Yes, sir.
standardized the tools into their one package, and they are calling it as the Azure DevOps. Same thing done by the Amazon also. In the Amazon, we have like Code Commit or some other tools I don't remember, but the same thing they have done in sort of Amazon also. But yes, Azure done it first, Amazon did it later, and Azure DevOps is more widely used because switching from these open sources to Azure DevOps is comparatively easy as compared to AWS DevOps.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So this is the
Got
trend.
it.
I mean, how the market basically works. And yes, now coming to the target environment. See, this is the target environment. So this is the process of the development part. Basically, this we are calling it as a development process. Now the target environment is the job of the infrastructure guys. So like either you can deploy. If I only talk about the Azure, then you can deploy your code in Azure virtual machine, Azure App Service, Docker, or AKS. So you need to learn these things separately first.
Yes,
So
got it, sir.
let's say
Yes,
if
sir.
you're going to work on a AKS, then you need to learn AKS first, and then you will come to the learn to DevOps. Then this is how you are going to learn.
Super, super, sir. So if you don't mind,
Yeah,
sir,
yeah,
can I
please go
have
ahead.
your contact number, sir, for for a further little conversation purpose? If you, sir, can I have your contact number,
You
sir?
can get it from the Visualpath. They will share
Okay,
whenever
I will,
you
I will.
need.
Yeah, I will. I got it. I got it. As per business ethics, I will get it from there. Okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
They will share
yeah.
you.
So
I
you,
mean, whenever you need to discuss with me, let's say after today's session, if any more questions or query which you would like to discuss before starting the course, you just
okay.
let them know. They will connect you. They will connect to you with me.
Yeah, I got it, sir. So actually, I'm a .NET Windows developer. You know, sir, WPF and a little bit I
Uh-huh.
used a web application also, but mostly I'm working in Windows-based applications. Okay, sir.
Okay, Windows based.
But now yeah, now I'm trying to jump some other. But if I go Azure cloud related, my career growth might be lost, right, sir? From a fresher level, they will calculate, right, sir?
See, I don't. Okay, let me tell you. No, I don't see it as a fresher level. Okay, let's say you already have some sort of experience, right? You already have
Yes,
how
sir.
many
Yes.
years of experience you have?
Sir, after 2009 to still nearly more than 13 plus years, sir, in
Okay,
.NET Gulf company. Gulf, I'm working
okay.
in one of the Gulf company.
So
Yes, sir.
let's say in short, you have 10 plus years of experience in development,
Yes, sir. In
right?
both the front end and back end also, sir. Full stack like that.
I mean, just call it as a noun development. Okay. So
Okay,
see,
okay.
let's say, let me tell you, if I talk about myself, okay, let me give you my example, and then it will be make it easier for it will be easier for you to understand. I also have
Yes, sir.
somewhere around 15 years of experience. Okay, so
Okay, okay,
8 years before, okay, when I started my
okay.
journey in the cloud, nobody has that good number of experience. So if we still go, but I did not leave all these things. What is that? You do not look at the Azure cloud learning as a fresh learning. It is a, of course it's a fresh learning, but when it comes to your resume, like absolutely you are going to mention whatever the job you have done, like whatever the front
Yes,
end development, the back end development, you're going to mention that because that is your hardcore skill. You have earned, you have learned by investing your time. Okay, you cannot do that.
yes,
But
sir.
yes, if on top of it, if you will say no, okay boss, I also know the cloud environment, because nowadays every organization wants their employees to have a good understanding of the cloud environment. Okay, if
Yes.
even if you are a
Yes.
a Windows developer, right? And you know, like, okay, I know how to create a Azure virtual machine, and once you create a virtual machine, then how I can deploy my application or the code whatever you have developed, right, into that virtual
Yes.
machine. I know how the Azure networking works. So if you have a cloud experience along with your experience, then it will make your profile better. It's not like something you are going to directly do the job. You do not have to leave your job. Honestly, simply telling you, if you have a good number of development experience, in my opinion, you should never leave the development job. What you should keep doing is that along with your development job, you should keep learning the different options, different trainings. For example, Azure cloud, for example, Amazon cloud, Google cloud,
Yes.
so that you already have the experience in the on-premise environment. You already know how to work on the TFC. You already know how to work on a Visual Studio. You already know how to build your solutions. All these things you have already know it, right? So
Yes.
do
Yes.
not leave that part. Absolutely, do not. You are not switching your career here. You are basically adding a skill into your whatever the knowledge you have. That's it.
Yes,
So
sir.
that is what I did also. I mean, I started my career from the Exchange servers, in the email servers, if you know about it. Okay,
Yes.
so I was
Yes. Yes.
supporting Exchange servers and the SCM. I did not leave that because those things are still there, right? But yes, I have
Yes.
added these into my portfolio. So now wherever I go for the interview or for the job, I say, boss, I know this. In addition to this, I know in cloud, Microsoft Azure cloud, and yes, of course, Azure is once I started learning in Azure, then I get much in much more interest inside the Azure cloud itself. So that is why I get completely into the Azure cloud itself.
Okay,
But
sir.
it does not
Okay.
mean I left my whatever I worked in my first 8 or 9 years of experience career. I'm not going to leave that. In my whenever I go, I always keep these things with me as well, because this is what we have learned, right?
Superb, superb, sir. So actually, currently I'm working Windows application. I would like to
uh,
do some web-based, that Angular or React-based need to be learned. Okay, sir.
uh,
The new technology need to be learned in my .NET, or can I jump into Azure technology, sir? Which one is
see,
good
let
for
me
me,
tell
sir?
you.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
let me tell you.
Why? Because both are need to be learned. That is my.
No issues, no issues. I'll understand your confusion. So let me explain you. Okay. So
Tell me,
might be
sir.
this will give you a better picture to decide or to understand your career as well. Okay. See,
Thank you,
here
sir.
we are the developers. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And in the development, either you have ASP.NET or C Sharp, right?
Yes, sir.
Whatever you call it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Python, right?
Java,
Java.
plus, yes,
We
whatever.
have Node.js, okay, Angular, whatever you are calling it. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
PHP. Okay. There are n number of options, right? As a developer, you cannot learn all these things or all the language. That's the
Yes.
basic line. You have to remember all the time. There is a
Yes, sir.
path.
Yes, sir.
So, for example, if you are in a Windows development, okay, so I assume like you must have learning of the C Sharp, you must have learning in the ASP.NET, the console applications, right? Or
Yes, sir.
Windows apps, something like that, right?
Yes,
This
sir.
is a bundle here, right? Let's say you are a Java developer, then you have a Java related bundles as well. If you are a Python developer, you have Python related bundles. If you are Node.js, PHP, or Angular, mostly in the web, you have a bundle for that part also, right? So this is the
Yes, sir.
job you are doing already. Okay. So it is completely up to you which programming language you would like to use and learn. That's your complete decision. Okay, you can, for example, let's say you have spent good number of time in C sharp, PHP, console, Windows. Of course you would like to switch to the Node.js, Angular, PHP. Not switch, I would say add. Okay, switch is not the
Yes.
correct word. Along with this knowledge, if you would like to add Java knowledge as well, it's a good option. You can
Yes.
go ahead and do
Yes,
that.
sir.
Okay, but what we are going to learn here is that no matter which developer, which kind of development bundle you have learned, okay,
Yes, sir.
you
Yes,
are
sir.
always going to deploy your solution on some sort of infrastructure,
Yes, sir.
right? You
Yes, yes. Got it.
anyhow you are going to learn it on an infrastructure. Now in infrastructure, we have two major categories. Okay, the first category is, we are calling it on-prem. Okay, where we simply deal with the technologies like VMware, Hyper-V, okay, networking, storage, okay, databases, okay. So if you are a Windows developer, then you must be working with SQL, okay.
Yes, sir.
So these are the different set of infrastructure part, okay. Sorry. So no matter, this part has nothing to do with this part. So this part says, boss, I cannot get into the details of your development. You do your development, and once you complete
Yes,
your
sir.
development, then you simply contact me, like, okay boss, I am ready with my code. I need an infrastructure to deploy on a code. So let's say you have created a program, okay, where you have a, for example, front end, you have a backend which is called DB, and then you have a middleware,
Yes, sir. Yes.
right? So you have developed three different parts. This is the front end, this is the middleware, this is the database. So you need three different servers, right? To one
Yes.
server you need to deploy your front end application, one server you need to deploy your middleware application, one center you need your database architecture. This is what we call three-tier architecture also, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
it's up to you, right? So you are going to contact your infrastructure guy or the administration people, like, boss, I need three different servers. I need this capacity in this, I need this capacity in this, and this capacity in this. They will come to you and they will say, okay, boss, I have created your server, and they will give you the IP address or the name of the server, and you will log in into that server and you will do all your deployment by your own hand. Okay, not just you,
Yes,
but
sir.
your team will do. Okay, along with your team. And yes, for time to time, you also, let's say you deployed your application, but let's say your front end is not able to reach out to your middleware, or maybe your middleware is not reach out to your database. So you will contact the network administrator. Okay boss, it seems I have deployed my application, but it seems there is a networking problem. Okay, I don't know,
Yes. Yes.
but
Yes.
my front end is not able to connect into this server or that server, whatever it is. I'm not able to access my application, something like that, right? So then your
Yes.
administrator people will come and they say, okay, in which server you have installed. They will ask you the server name, the IP address, all these things, okay, and then they will look into this, troubleshoot the issue. So what we are basically learning here, so this is one category of the infrastructure, and we are calling it as a on-prem. There is another category which we are calling as a cloud. Okay, in cloud
Yes.
we have options like Amazon, Azure, AWS, Google,
Good.
Oracle, IBM. There are a number of companies who are providing the cloud services, right? Here also
Yes.
we will do the same thing. As an infrastructure, as a cloud, you can replace the infrastructure with the word cloud. And here also you are going to have your, let's say you have developed any solution and you would like to deploy it into any cloud infrastructure. So you are simply going to contact your cloud administrator and say, boss, my code is ready, I would like to deploy my solution in your cloud environment. Of course you have some different methods to deploy your code as compared to here, right? But you are going to deploy your source. This is the end of the story, right? And
Yes. Yes.
if you automate all these things, if you automate these things in simple words. I'm telling you. Let's say if you do some sort of automation, that is called DevOps.
Oh, okay. I got it, sir.
This process, the after writing your code to deploying your code, to test your code, to test your application, everything, if you automate it, I mean, instead of doing it manually, if you are doing in automation, then it is called DevOps. But anyhow, forget about the DevOps. But this is how every technology is also working right now. Is that or not?
Yes, yes, yes,
So what you are trying to know here, like if you are talking about the AKS. So let's say if you
yes,
would like to learn the AKS, okay, AKS is a infrastructure, advanced infrastructure, not just the infrastructure, it is an advanced infrastructure. Okay, so
yes,
imagine
yes,
if you don't know the basic of infrastructure, then
yes,
even if somebody told you like, okay, no, let me tell you first, I'm going to tell you the advanced structure or advanced AKS, sorry, AKS, would you be able to understand? No. In simple words, I'm
yes.
simply telling you, you will not be. I mean, maybe you will able to understand what I'm trying to say, but you will not be able to connect the dots. You will not be able to make the picture clear in your mind. Like, okay, after writing my code, how I should deploy my code into the AKS. You maybe learned one or two methods, but logically, if there is something break, you will not be able to understand that because you don't know the infrastructure flow, the basics of the infrastructure.
Okay, sir. I got it. Yes.
So what I
Sir,
am
which is
saying,
script?
you keep
Okay,
this
okay, sir.
journey separated from this journey.
Oh, okay, sir. Got it.
This is your main area. Keep it learning, keep it adding whatever the knowledge you would like to add. Let's say today
Yes,
you would like to work on a backend or a web application, whatever you would like to. Because this
yes, yes,
area and this area are the two different area. This area is not going to worry about which kind of language you are learning. Let's say if I'm learning C sharp, then it is not going to work. Then it does not matter if I am deploying my code into the on-premises Hyper-V VMware on AWS or on Azure. I can deploy
yes, yes,
anywhere. It's up to
yes, sir. Got
me
it, sir.
what I would like to learn here.
Superb, superb, sir. Sir, which script language is good for Azure, sir? Uh,
Okay, Azure is a,
Python,
Microsoft
YAML.
oriented. No, no, YAML
Yes,
is
sir.
not a scripting language. YAML is not a scripting language.
In Kubernetes,
YAML
most of them
basically
using
got.
YAML like that. Yes.
In Kubernetes, we use the YAML, but YAML is not a scripting language. YAML is a manifest file. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay,
what
sir.
is
Okay, sir.
YAML? Is like, let's say, there is a, let me tell you YAML also. Okay. Okay, what is YAML? I'm simply telling you. Okay, YAML is a manifest file. So let's say you open a web in your language also. Let me make you understand. Okay, so let's say you
Sir, YAML,
created a
so tag wise, I have some idea, sir. So if you don't mind, just simply I am asking only. Don't
uh,
waste your valuable time, sir. That's all.
okay,
You are
fine,
wasting
noted.
your
But
valuable
YAML is
time.
not a
Yeah.
scripting language.
Uh,
If you would like to learn the scripting, then you should learn
tag
PowerShell
based, right, sir?
or
Tag
Python.
like XML. Yes, sir. Tag based, tag entity based, like that. I saw somewhere else. Sir, I'm asking. In Azure, we are using PowerShell, Python, or any some. So sir,
PowerShell or
some
Python.
Python.
See, in
So we need
scripting
to.
language, if you are working in a Azure, then as a part of scripting language, you need to learn PowerShell and or Python. Any one will be
Okay, sir.
enough. So it's
But
up to you.
Python is a very easy language, easy to learn. At the same time, we
See,
can
it
use in future
depends
a lot of
on your
artificial.
interest. PowerShell is also easy to learn. But why I'm saying Python or PowerShell? Because PowerShell is basically a Windows oriented program.
Yes, yes. I got it, sir.
So
I
since
got
you
it.
are already working in Azure and Windows development, and both are belongs to the Microsoft bundle, so PowerShell is more compatible with Windows and Azure as compared to Python also.
Okay, sir. I got it, sir. Okay. Uh, Thank you, sir. Thank you for a nice presentation, sir. I got a lot of valuable things, and you are saying all those things with the patiently. Okay, sir, with
Yeah.
elaborately. Thank you very much, sir. Uh, sir, new persons are coming. Oh no, no, Swati, you are employee only. Sir, uh, I will little go through and I will finalize, sir.
Absolutely.
Why?
Take your
Because
time, no issue.
initially, sir,
Whatever,
mm,
sorry.
tell me, sir.
No, no, what I'm saying, like you can take your time and
Yes, sir.
whatever
Yes, sir.
doubts or query you have, you can just let the visual path know. They will
Okay.
connect you with me.
Okay, I got it, sir. I will do like that. Why? Because initially I focused only Kubernetes and Docker, but you are saying right, absolutely right. Need to be no fundamental things, basic things. Then only we can
Yes.
cover Kubernetes and Docker.
Then
It's a
only
very
you will
valuable.
be able to understand. I mean, of course, we
Yes,
are.
sir. Yes, sir.
So
Got it.
let me make it very clear, Shri. In the course which
Yes,
we are
sir.
talking, which is AZ104, we are not going to cover a lot of details in about AKS. We are only going to
Okay.
cover because this course is designed for a lot of other topics as well. So in this course,
Yes.
we are going to have a basic understanding of Docker and Kubernetes. We are not going to
Okay.
have an in-depth understanding of that. That is a
Got it, sir.
separate course. But yes,
Yes.
we will learn all those things which is required or mandatory part, I would say, to learn before AKS.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Okay, sir.
Uh, no issues.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Shri, for your time as well, and thanks for joining the session. So I'm looking
Thank you, sir.
forward to connect in a class. So if any you have any doubt or query still, you can just let Visual Path know. They will
Yes, sir.
connect you with me. Okay, and
Thank
we
you.
can
Thank you,
discuss.
Mr. Yes,
Thank
yes,
you.
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Thanks,
you very much
guys,
to all.
and have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.